Good morning and happy Monday, everyone. So, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. I would say that my low is yesterday was very, very cold out. In fact, honestly, my mom making soup yesterday really hit the spot. So, yeah. I know I kept saying if we make it till March, you have a chance, and 3 days in, and well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I hardly see any snow outside, save for like a few of those giant piles of snow that you get when like the snow plows like back it up in one pile. This hasn't melted all the way yet, so progress. Yeah, progress. Speaking of my mom, yesterday I got to see my family. That's my high. My mom made soup. She made a salad. She made a broccoli with cheese sauce, mashed potatoes, and a roast chicken. It was all very good. And my act of kindness was let's see, what was my act of kindness? Well, obviously I helped my parents watch my nephews, of course. And I also helped prepare dinner. So, yeah. I paid my dues. Oh, goodness. I'm glad I got up early, but on Wednesday I'm going to have to get up even earlier. Chances are it might actually be like 5 a.m. when I do my video on Wednesday morning, just so I'm able to, get it done. Because I've got a very big day ahead of me that day. But I'll explain that later. Let's see. Before I read this week's One Piece manga chapter, let me look up one thing. I need to know who won. I have no idea who won the Oscars last night. I didn't watch it. I was watching Food Network Tournament of Champions. Okay, Oscars. Okay, so, what? Hold on. Honora. Okay. What the heck is Honora? Honora won Best Picture. Okay. Let's see. What's the movie about? Who's in it? Okay. I'll have to check this movie out. Yeah, we actually never got Honora in my area, so I never even heard of this movie. Anyway, as long as I'm here, let's read this week's One Piece manga chapter. Okay, so One Piece chapter 1141, An Older Woman. Okay, coming back from the castle, Nami's upset that there was nothing inside the castle. Looks like Nami and Road are taking care of the guards that were knocked out at the castle. Okay. Ooh, Franklin Ripley. Okay. Still on the Adam Tree tour. All right. Looks like, ooh. It would appear there's a giant branch of the Adam tree that's been cut off. What happened? Okay, there was a village on that branch called Haugen. Haugen. Okay, and one day, lightning struck the village and started a fire. Okay, I knew this. When a tree branch gets old, it gets old and dry, and fire just doesn't go out. So, in order to ensure the fire didn't spread to other branches, they completely cut off that one branch. Cut off the finger to save the hand notion. Okay. Frankie says, real tough. And Ripley says, the vulnerabilities of Elbaf are fire and lightning. You know who's not weak to fire and lightning? Luffy is. No, seriously, I'm like, Luffy's made of rubber, so, lightning doesn't hurt him, obviously. And during the fight with Kaido, he took the blast breath head on, how'd you survive? 'Cause gods! That's funny. Okay, looks like they're back at the village where the party's going on. And Usopp is very drunk. Talking to Jarl. Alright, oh my god. Okay, folks, looks like the title of the chapter was worked into the chapter. Here's the thing. I'd say about 95% of the time, somehow the title works its way into the chapter. And here it's no exception. Usually, a couple chapters ago, we had introducing Shamrock. That literally introduced Shamrock before he was even revealed. Stuff like that. It's very rare that a One Piece title works its way into the chapter. And when looking back on it, it's like, oh, the title of the chapter was played for a joke. Because Jarl says how beautiful, Nami, is, Nami is being a navigator and stuff. And Usopp asks, what type of woman that Jarl is into. And then Jarl says, an older woman. And the title of the chapter is An Older Woman. That's actually just that's the humor I've come to expect from One Piece after all these years. Oh! Holy cow. Okay, literally right below the older woman comment, Usopp jumps up, hits the sword that's jammed into Jarl's skull, and it's a funny gag, of course. Oh my gosh, what if either removing the sword or hitting the sword again makes Jarl remember what happened in the castle? It'd be very revealing, but it'd also be kind of funny. Usopp has to be held back. Yeah, I figured as much. If they pull that sword out of Jarl's head, he'll die of blood loss. It's literally going through in one end and out the other. So, yeah. Oh, that's a nice moment right there. Nami and Jinbei talking specifically about how Usopp is going crazy, but you can't blame him for getting carried away because it was his lifelong dream to come to Elbaf. And he's just having fun. Sanji's looking for Gerd, okay? Gerd is attending to those guards over at the castle. And she is trying to ask Rode what happened. And it would seem that Rode is spilling the beans right now as to what happened. I'm going to go on a limb here and say the second I press the button to turn the page, I'm going to see Luffy and Zoro going after Loki, aren't I? Yep. Of course that would happen. Okay, so now they're in the underworld. Luffy and Zoro have Loki's key in hand. Of course, Loki is injured after what Shamrock did to him. Almost knocked out, but he's still breathing. Alright. Zoro says, don't use the key yet. Yep. The chains that Loki is covered in are made of sea stone, or sea prism stone, which Luffy as a Devil Fruit user is weak to. Alright. All the animals are surrounding Loki have also been knocked out. That's not good. Luffy and Zoro are arguing. You know, I actually kind of find this ironic considering that when Luffy first found Zoro, Zoro was tied up and left to die. And he was going to die if Luffy didn't do anything. And now we're in a similar situation where Luffy is telling Zoro not to help out someone who's tied up. And on top of that, I mean, Luffy and Zoro really aren't that smart as a pair. However, by default, Zoro is the smarter of the two. That's just how the story's supposed to be written that way. Let's see where this goes from here. But anyway, Luffy's saying, you know, Loki is dying. We gotta unlock the key and get help for him. And Zoro's saying, you know, I've never talked to this guy. I've never seen this guy before. The entire time I've been here, I've only heard bad things about him. And not to mention, he's not just a giant. He's the size of oars. And obviously, if someone oars' size is let loose and starts raising hell, it's going to be a problem for everyone. And, okay. Okay. So, Zoro kicks Loki's injury where Shamrock got him. And he did that to see if the injury was real, but also to see if he wasn't acting. Okay. So, looks like the compromise is they're going to unlock Loki's cuffs, but they're going to leave one of his legs still locked up with Sea Prism Stone. And if they wake up, they'll talk to him. I mean, the instant that Loki introduced himself into the series, or was introduced into the series, it was pretty obvious he was going to get freed eventually. I'm just curious of what's going to happen when it does. Okay, Okay, so they're going to find a doctor and go find meat for him. Zoro's just playing meat over there, referring to the animals that are knocked out. And Luffy befriended those animals. And so he says, those animals are my friends. Luffy says, no, those are friends and you don't eat friends. Okay. Okay, the giants are falling from the top of the land of the sun. Okay. Oh, there's Sanji right there. All the new giant warrior pirates are falling. Okay. Hold on. Yep. And looks like they're gonna crash and probably die. And then Howard is like, I'm sorry guys, I didn't want to do this. But then all the giant warrior pirates are like, listen, if Loki gets freed, it'd be bad. You made the right call. We trust you. Now that is a good and trustworthy crew if I ever saw one. Oh, Luffy saved him with the Gum Gum balloon. Nice. And they only got so they only got severely injured instead of immediately dying. Okay. Okay, looks like Harden is the one talking now. Wow. Okay, this is in a smaller panel, but I really can't tell the difference. I mean, pretty much all giants vary in size, but I see Luffy and Zoro right there. I see Harden like to my right, and Loki is behind all of them. Yeah. Loki's huge. He really is the size of Oars. I mean, Oars was already the biggest giant in the world. In fact, he was known for pulling continents, and he was already, for lack of a better word, a Hellraiser in his own time. But Loki's right there, and I'm beginning to see why it took all the giant warriors of Elbaf to stop him. Meanwhile, Harden, who is supposed to be Loki's half-brother, and throughout this arc, Harden's actually really hasn't said much on his opinion about Loki. Everything we've heard from Loki has come from other people, but not Harden himself. This is the first time we've seen Harden express any opinion on Loki. And it's exactly what everybody else is saying. You can't trust Loki. He's cunning, cruel, vicious, backstabbing, and conniving. Yes, he's a cunning, cruel, vicious, backstabbing, and conniving villain. We've known Loki since we were children. If he told you anything that made him sound sympathetic, then he is lying. He is the kind of beast who will kill a so-called friend at a moment's notice. He is an enemy of the world. And Zoro says, well, it's too late. Oh God, they freed Loki, didn't they? I should probably set this down in case the image I'm about to see completely freaks me the heck out. Oh my God. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Why? Oh my God. Are you insane? Okay. Actually, you know what? Since I'm already standing, it's literally Loki just getting up, and you can't see his face, but he just looks like, okay. So, wait. Okay, the cuff, there's still one cuff around his ankle, like Luffy and Zoro agreed to do. Okay. So, technically he is still restrained a little bit. And Luffy's shocked because he thought he was passed out. Loki grabs the hammer behind him, and then Harden says, "Don't do it. Loki, take your hand off of Ragnir," which is that giant hammer-like weapon that was behind him. Which, come to think of it, Ragnir sounds like a combination of Ragnarok and Mjolnir. Okay. And that's the end of the chapter. Loki is officially free. And I, for one, am about, if, you know what, I'm going to have to wait until the next chapter to see if it's warranted for me to panic. But, yeah, Loki's freed. And all from a chapter that worked its way, that worked its title into the, that worked its, that in which its title worked its way into the chapter, and it was a joke. That's One Piece for you. I hope y'all like this video. If you like, subscribe to YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very home this video for all of you guys watching. Enjoy for them. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, for you guys want to talk or channel, we're going to be here to let them know. As you're back, take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.